break bread and be free. Come break bread with me.
I want to squeeze past you guys really quick before you all sit down. Thank you.
Open your mind.
Well, welcome everybody. Oh, nobody wanted to sit in the front. What's we won't bite, we promise. Welcome everybody. I'm so happy that you all are here today. I need my phone, please, Melissa. I had it here and then I forgot it. Thank you all for coming today. This is the end of our live show tour experience. We started back in March and we've been able to, oh, hello, how are you? We've been able to be in Bay City at the Davenport Planetarium. We've been at Venue 63 in Midland, Central Auditorium. Where else have we been? Davenport and Castle Museum. And so we've been able to be all over the Great Lake Bay region. And we also had an opportunity to go out to Alma College and support their freshman orientation group to be able to talk to them. So it's just been fantastic. So we're super excited about that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And so tonight we are going to have a talk about prison reform. It's such an important topic. And I'm super excited for all of our guests at the table that are here to talk with us today. And then we're going to leave a little bit early. We're doing it a little bit different today. Welcome. We're going to do it a little bit different today. We're going to end a little bit early and just congregate in the back. If you want to dance, dance. If you want to sit around and talk. Let's just enjoy. My birthday is in a couple days, so I said, why not have a little small party with the people that have supported us all year, and then also to celebrate the end of our tour, because I'm super proud of us. Our team has done a fantastic job to help make sure this happened. I literally couldn't do it without them, so I so appreciate them. So we want to also thank, really quickly, the Bay Area Community Foundation for supporting us this whole year to be able to have these different conversations here. Without foundations like them and the Midland Area Community Foundation and Saginaw Foundation, we would not be able to do this. So we super appreciate it so we can do this and also offer it to the community, at no cost. And I think that's pretty good. I'm super proud of that. So you guys ready to get started? Oh, yes. Yay. Are you guys ready to get started? Have this dialogue. And y'all, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to fan a couple times. I am just burning up all the time these days. We're gonna have a talk about that too next month, November 18th, in this same spot. You all come back. We're gonna talk about it. So, welcome. So today, let's talk about prison reform. So the reason why I want to talk about this is because it is such a big topic for me personally. I've never been arrested, never been to jail, never been to prison. So I can't speak about it firsthand, but I talk to people, I read a lot, I see a lot, I hear a lot. And so this is a big conversation for me and I wanted to have it. So I appreciate you all for being here to partake in this. So first I want to get into, I usually don't do this, but tonight I want to talk about why you all are here, because I think it's important to talk about that because of the topic. And we usually don't give out like titles and all that kind of stuff, but I think tonight is good to kind of, for you all to tell your perspective and why you think this topic is so important. So Scott, if you want to start, that would be great, just kind of telling who you are and why you think this conversation is important as a community.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, happy early birthday.
Thank
Mine
you.
was yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday.
I don't
Meals in
dance,
the house?
so you can dance for me.
Okay,
but,
okay. That's okay.
So my name is Scott Holzinger. I'm the sheriff over in Midland County next door. For anybody in here, I know there's a few people I spoke to that are Midland residents. So I got connected with Erin last year when I was campaigning, and feel we had good dialogue, and I got her to join the DARE board over in Midland this year as well. So I think when she asked, I immediately accepted. I think I have 23 years total in law enforcement over in Midland. Started in the courts, went out to Road Patrol, Detective Bureau, and now my role as sheriff. And I think as a newly elected, I consider myself to be young still, sheriff. I think I've brought in my first 10 months some new perspective and way of thinking in our jail in Midland, and I'm happy to share those thoughts here and changes I've made and talk about the difference between a local jail, so like the Bay County Jail, Midland County Jail, and prison, because there's a big difference. So,
Okay.
in a nutshell, that's happy to answer any questions and discuss, what we're doing over at Midland.
Awesome. Anne Marie?
Hi. I'm going to scooch in. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I'm Anne Marie Shibley. I'm a mental health therapist. I specialize in trauma, and most of my whole career has been spent in corrections, and so specifically they will call it forensic social work or forensic psychology. So I've done parole, probation here locally. Also been in several different prisons, and currently I'm most of my work is with juveniles who are adjudicated through Midland County. And there might be a question as to maybe there is a question as to why a trauma therapist would spend so much time with this population. I guess my hope is that by the end of tonight we could have a better understanding as to why the question should be why there aren't more trauma therapists, and also why these things are not being addressed much sooner. And like what I would say with our youth population. So.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that, both of you all. Mr. McDaniel?
Can you hear me? Okay, good. I just believe God has called me to, and I have a passion for prison ministry. I want to read this scripture that has really been my guiding principle. It's Matthew 25, verse 35 through 40. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me. Then the righteous boy answered him, Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we see you in prison and go and visit you? The king will reply, truly I tell you, whenever you did it for the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did it for me. And so my passion has been what God has allowed me to do. So I've been going into Central Michigan. It was called Pine River when I went in, about 28 years. Teaching and sharing the word and seeing some just wonderful, to me, life-changing moments for people who have gone from, feeling like they were worthless and full of shame to feeling like God has got something for them. And I just pray that when they get out, they would be a different person. So that's why I'm doing this.
Awesome. Thank you. G?
Hello. My name is Garland Welch. I am part of the Breaking Bread team. I'm part of the Breaking Bread team. I'm a licensed barber in Saginaw, Michigan. I'm also a former inmate. I served 13 years in the MDOC, Michigan Department of Corrections. And when Aaron first asked me, I was a little hesitant, but then I decided to use it as my testimony that, after prison, if you're determined to turn your life around, you can. And I'm here to give a little perspective that I don't think anyone else up here can give, but, I'm here, and, let's have at it.
Yeah, we appreciate that. And you're right, nobody can give it, and that's why I think it's so important for people who have walked a certain path to tell their own story, right? I mean, I think a lot of times we try to tell the story of others, and we can only see it from our perspective and lens, all of us, right? And so that's why it's so important to have different perspectives at the table to be able to have these type of discussions. So thank you all for being here. So my first question is community responsibility, right? I mean, I think about, when you talk about therapy, you talk about, I think about community, neighborhoods, different type of partnerships and community, efforts, right? What responsibility does the community have to help people not go into the system, right? And I mean, we could go all the way down to maybe elementary school, Head Start, before they even go to school. I mean, there's so many, we can go down a really deep rabbit hole, but just kind of generally, what do you think is the responsibility of the community members? Because we see a lot of community members that talk down to people that are in different parts of their life, right? Different choices that they've made. But sometimes I don't think we really acknowledge our part in it too, and how we can kind of help get people to where they are. So what do you think community responsibility lies as far as help people not go into these systems? You're a therapist. Talk. You can go first. I'll let you go first. I'll point you.
I have thoughts. I mean, honestly, I think we can't, it's hard, it's impossible to separate talking about prison reform if we aren't talking about child welfare reform and the failure of our society, our communities to really protect children. I can think of kids right now who I would love for them to be in a better spot, but we know that if we move forward with kind of doing everything we need to do to have them removed, there's nowhere for them to go, right? The only place for them to go would essentially be a pseudo prison environment. So that's not any better, right? It would be removed from the community, so they're, stripped away from any roots, any connection, any kind of safe, attached person. So I think about becoming a foster parent, right? Signing up to do the Big Brothers Big Sisters program, right? Mm-hmm. Like all of those things that really help engage and support youth, because for kids to really thrive, they need 4 safe, stable, secure adult connections. And I work with kids every day who have zero.
Yeah,
they have
no,
zero.
Yeah.
And so be that adult for someone.
I mean, the teachers, right? I mean, we have teachers in the room. I know. I mean, the teachers, right? Just where I know when I used to work in the school system, some of the kids that came in there, that was the only time they ate. That was the only time they had someone that asked them how they're doing, how their day is. They gave them a hug, and that used to break my heart. And so I'm hugging everybody. I'm like, I just want to give you a hug today, because I think that's really sad that a child does not have that, and they have to come there for that. So yes, thank you. Scott, did you want to add anything to that?
Not from the child perspective so much. For me, it's 2 things. I'll talk about adults.
Sure.
I use the word purpose a lot, and I think we all need to have purpose to drive us and make good decisions and be successful. But the correlation between employment and housing, I think, are huge. I know in Midland it's always a topic of conversation, is to try to help people get gainful employment in a place that, to lay their head and call home. Without those things, you go back to that purpose word.
Yeah.
And it's hard, okay, if I don't have, stable employment, to help me, feed myself, clean myself, pay my bills or whatever, and then I don't have a place to go, what incentive do I have, to, and I'm not saying that all people who don't have that necessarily find themselves in trouble, but I think if you were to go and study the vast majority of those incarcerated, that those 2 things become a factor.
Sure.
So, it's tough, the world we live in, tough economic times, jobs and such, but those are 2 things that I think are pretty consistent and can help people, stay out of trouble, is a purpose-driven life, and hopefully have a good paying job or a job and a place to call home.
Like basic human.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yes,
and
for
so,
sure.
exactly. And that's the thing, is that I know that there are a lot of times, I mean, I watch documentaries all the time. I love documentaries, right? So I think I know so many things. And, but there are so many people that talk about going back into the system because they don't have a place to stay.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, if I know if I commit this crime, I can go back into jail, get arrested again, and at least I'll have food. At least I will have somewhere to lay my head. And so that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do see people who, the term is institutionalized, and that can be part of it.
Yeah.
In the winter months, we tend to see some people find themselves back in our facility. It's warm,
Yeah.
they have a hot shower, and, it's unfortunate.
Which is so sad to me.
Yeah.
It's so sad to me. Anybody else want to add to that? How do you think that as community members we can help change people's trajectory as far as where they go in life?
Well, it's a lot of programs that that one can seek to, to keep the recidivism down. Like when I came home, you have like Michigan Works. It was a lot of programs that I involved myself, and they provide a lot of the needs that that you need to make it in society after prison. As far as helping you get your resume together, jobs, even uniform if the job requires a uniform, they help with all that. So it's just pretty much on the individual because the resources are there.
So so let me ask this because I'm not clear. So when a person is going to be released, do they provide you like a
Yes.
bag with a bunch of information in it too?
Well, they provide classes.
Okay.
Classes, and they also prepare you. They help you get your birth certificate, your so you can get your driver's license, Social Security card. So they help. It's just really on the individual.
Yeah.
To take advantage of those resources. But yeah, they help.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, please.
I'm on the board of a community organization called McFAR. I don't know if you've ever heard of McFAR.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. McFAR?
Yep, Rob
Yeah,
Worsley. Yep.
Okay, and I'm on the board. McFAR is Midland Community Former Offender Advocacy Rehabilitation Group. And
Oh yes. I sat at the table with him at one of our
Rob
nonprofit.
Worsley?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. I just
okay.
didn't know the. Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
that's okay. But McFAR is dedicated to assisting and helping those ex-offenders, we call them, ex-offenders, when they come back. No, the CEO of McFAR is telling me, and I believe him, he said in terms of percentage, our recidivism rate is 0 in Midland County because of what we do in helping those who come back into our community to find their ID, transportation, jobs. We help them find jobs. Community organizations that help to work together, the healthcare organizations, the mental health organizations, the addiction organizations. And so that's McFAR, is we're trying to bring all those groups together to help that individual out. And we believe we've done a fairly successful job of helping individuals who come out of prison so they won't reoffend. They don't have to reoffend because they can get transportation. We assist them in so many ways. And I think that's part of it. As we've always said, it takes a village, right?
Yeah.
And it's the village that really helps to keep people from going back into the prison system.
Yeah.
I do think one consideration is there's this exercise. So when I was working in the prisons, I was running substance abuse treatment groups, and so 15 guys for, I don't know, several months that I would be working with. And there was one assignment, it was always my favorite one, and I said, okay, over this next week, I just need you to ask one person for help. Because to get out and to be successful, you have to ask people for help. And it was the hardest, most stressful assignment. I mean, I'm asking these guys to like dig into their trauma history, and they're like, but I can't. And they're like, I'll do that all day. Please don't make me ask somebody for help, right? So there is if you haven't spent time in the prison system and if you don't understand the culture, it is not a place where you can freely ask for help, right? There is not, it's just not, right? And so having that mindset adjustment, I think there are a lot of resources. I think sometimes there can just be trauma just even from the incarceration, right? That makes it very hard to access some of those resources because it's too vulnerable, right? Vulnerability, it feels dangerous and feels unsafe, and also if you've got kind of all sorts of other trauma on top of that.
Well, and that leads into my next question, because in what ways can society shift its mindset from punishment to restoration when someone returns home from prison or from jail, right? It's this idea that there are resources, but if you have, say for instance, you come home to your family and you've always been the clown, right? You've always been the one that gets in trouble. When you come home, they just expect for you to continue to get in trouble, correct? And so it's this barrier that comes up for where, how do I ask for help when nobody believes that I can change anyway? So how can we as a community change that mindset? Because I think about, in some states, people that are released can't even still vote. And I guess I've always had a struggle with that, this idea that we tell people to serve time and we give them we get to judge like how much time they should serve for a certain crime, and then they serve it, and then we say, okay, but you're out, but we still want to punish you some more. And so how can we change that? I mean, I don't know. I want to change everything, but I can't. So how can we, in a small scale, kind of change that mindset of people coming out? I mean, I don't know. That's a big question, but Scott,
Yeah.
yes, please.
So I'm gonna
Help me.
I'm gonna stay away from. I've never worked in a prison, so I can't really speak much to that. With the jail, and I'll talk about our specific jail in Midland. The three things that I'm focused on in terms of that facility, we have a 274 bed facility, and we are focused on punishment, accountability, and rehabilitation. And those three things can all exist together, because I believe there still needs to be a punishment element to going to jail. And we don't set policies as sheriffs. Laws are made in Lansing. Judges and prosecutors handle charging and sentencing and stuff like that. I'm charged with operating and maintaining the facility, and we can do so, within a set of rules and guidelines. And I can also do things the way I see fit. And we've made some changes because I see all of our inmates as human beings. I spend time in there. I was there for 6 hours today. I go in the pods with the inmates and sit down and talk to them and learn about them and learn about their history. And because the way I see it, and this is where I said before, there's a difference between jail and prison. Prison is your convicted and potentially longer term sentence versus jail. We have a lot of pre-trial, pre-convicted people awaiting their day in court, and some shorter sentences, if you will, and these people are going to be back out into our community. And I don't see a whole lot of sense in not trying to help these individuals get better for whatever their reason or purpose is that they're in the jail, because they're going to be back in our community. And later this year or early next year, I'm kind of going to let the cat out of the bag here on something we've been working on.
We get first. Let's go.
Yeah, we're going to open. We have 7 pods in our jail, and right now we have one that's empty because of COVID and whatnot. But we're going to have a recovery pod, the first of its type in the state of Michigan here. Like I said, either at the beginning or the end of this year, the beginning of next year, which will be local offenders who are battling substance abuse and or mental health issues, which I'm sure you can attest to. Just about everybody in the jail has one or the other, it seems. And do programming. Several people, Aaron, are going to come in and assist in the recovery pod, Adam and Buddy, and really work. It's going to be its own little community within our jail where they can work together to try to get better and overcome obstacles. We're going to do work programming, basic job skills stuff, anything that is safe that we can think of that, okay, it's your time to leave, please don't come back.
Yeah, and did you guys implement a workout facility?
Yeah,
or
we
something
did.
like
So
that too?
I added.
Which I think everybody should have the access to.
Yeah, so within our pods, we have open gym areas. I don't know why they're called gyms. They're not really a gym. It's, just an open area. And I didn't think that was enough. So we recently, through a fund in which the inmates in jail fund through different purchases while they're there, I purchased them basic pull-up bars and dip bars to allow them to do additional exercise, to get stress out. And I talk about balance a lot with the jail. I have to balance keeping the staff from feeling like I'm picking sides, but at the same time recognizing that, these are individuals, and there are parts of jail that I guess I would consider to be unreasonable, but it is jail, and again, that's where that punishment side comes into play. But at the same time, it shouldn't be unbearable. And we have a very clean facility. It's very well run by our staff. And knock on wood, we've had a couple little things here and there in my first year, but I'm really working hard to making sure that the people that we're charged with caring and providing for know that you're a human and you're a person. And, you know, whatever the mistake it is that you made to put you here, you know, you're doing your punishment and dealing with that, but we want you to get better.
Yes. I mean, that's the plan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a balancing act because, you know, like I said, I do believe jail has to have a punishment, you know, element to it. It just shouldn't, it can't be unreasonable or unjustifiable.
Inhumane,
Yeah.
all those things. Yeah.
So yeah, there's a few other things. I'm right now with the fall and deer season, all that, we're going out every couple weeks. Maybe you've seen Carcass Patrol on Facebook that we're doing. We take a couple individuals out and they help clean up some messes on the road, and in return they get McDonald's before they go back, and they get fresh air and get a different meal, and you know, so again, more of that reasonableness and balance that that I think is needed there.
No,
So-
yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.